You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and welcome to USA Global TV and Business Talk Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I am your host, executive producer, director, and broadcast engineer. And you're watching 529 Club Creatives. And the star of our show is indeed in the house, Debra Wootton. Let's bring Debra on. Hi, Debra.
Hey, darling. How are you?
Good to see you. Good to see you. And for people who are joining us for the first time, Debra is a film and TV producer specializing in animation. She is the CEO of Weber Group Limited, Pinewood Studios, and the founder of 529 Club. So it's good to see you, my friend.
And it's good to be here. We do have a lovely little chit chat, don't we? We're jamming on Thursdays.
We sure are. And of course, you brought us another phenomenal guest today, so thank you for that. Before we bring Cheryl out, I had a nice conversation with her backstage. But let's hear a little bit about what you're doing, what's going on at Clubhouse, and what's going on with you.
Well, we had the winner's story for the musical theatre contest last week, and tonight we will be explaining the next thing that we're going to be doing, the 5 to 9 Club and Mark Summers. We are basically going to do a monologue slam for the summer and then start a good contest, start another contest again at the beginning of September. So we wanted to have something to let the actors get their juices going, and that's why we're going to do a monologue slam for August. So a summer monologue slam is what we're all up to at the moment.
That's fantastic, Debra. Now, is this open to anyone who can participate in this?
It's open to everybody that's on the Clubhouse app, and you will hear it first. Basically, what they have to do is they come up to stage with a 1-minute monologue, and then whoever votes for them, that gets them through to the next round. We're only doing 3 weeks of auditions this time, and then we will have a final. No semis, just straight into a final. And then the winners will get mentoring from some of the top names in the industry.
Fantastic, very exciting. And for people who are new to Clubhouse, how do they actually find this room or club on the app?
If they go into the little magnifying glass and put in 5 to 9 Club, I think we'll be up the top there. For 5 to 9 Club. I think there's some other people call 5 to 9 as well. But yes, just do a search on the app itself, and we are on there. I think we've got about 6.6 thousand members at the moment. So it means that they have us nearer the top of the tree rather than further down.
So exciting. I'm really looking forward to being in the audience. And I think that's something else that we should just touch on is the importance of people being in the audience so they can vote.
Yes, because it's the audience vote that gets people through to each round or to win. Because, it's just a way of keeping it's nice for people to come up on stage and talk in a lot of these rooms. But it's also nice for people to be in the lounge, as I call it. They sit themselves in the lounge, get themselves comfortable, and just listen to the chat. Because for me, the Clubhouse app is like an interactive podcast. So, you don't necessarily always have to be part of the conversation to find the subject interesting and, to listen to it.
Yes, absolutely. And I know that our show is 5 to 9 Club Creatives, but yesterday, I think it was on Clubhouse, there was a room that I popped into. You were there on the stage, and it was, I think, the future of the TV and film industry, which I thought was really interesting and really, Yes, New Hollywood, and really kind of ties into our guest, Cheryl L. Bedford, and having more inclusivity in the film and TV industry, more diversity as well.
That's the great thing about Clubhouse. It's about bringing people together to talk about, what is the new Hollywood? What is, the things that Cheryl's been doing before Clubhouse came along, to help people from diverse backgrounds, especially women of color, to get themselves into the industry, but, I can sing, Cheryl's praises all day, all night, and until the day I die, but this lady is absolutely awesome. But I want to leave some stuff for her to be able to let you know about as well.
I totally appreciate that. So why don't we take a quick break and then we'll bring Cheryl on. How does that sound?
Sounds perfect.
Okay, so we're going to be watching a video clip. I think I might have played this on the show before. This is Celebrate Great Britain royal horses enjoying their summer holidays on the Sandy award-winning Holcombe Beach in Norfolk, filmed with special provision by CAA accredited commercial drone pilot produced by Ingram and Barker. Let's take a look at this and then we will be back on 529 Club Creative. Stay with us.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Hello and welcome back to USA Global TV and Business Talk Radio. You're watching 529 Club Creatives with the star of our show, Debra. And in our first segment, we heard all about what's going on in Clubhouse, a new competition that is going to be given an overview this evening on Clubhouse. What time, Debra?
It is 8 p.m. in the UK, 3 p.m. on the East Coast, and midday on the West Coast. Same time every week.
Fantastic. And we need you to be in the audience voting, helping to move the competition forward. So now, Cheryl.
Sorry, babes. This week they don't have to be in the audience to vote. They just have to come and ask their questions because we're letting them know what's in the contest. And starting from next week, people will start voting for the people that have entered.
Outstanding. Thank you for that clarification. What do you say? Should we bring Cheryl out, Our guest today, Cheryl L. Bedford. She is the founder of Women of Color Unite and hashtag #StartWith8 / creator of the JTC list. You can find her on Twitter and Instagram, and we will be streaming her information across the bottom. Welcome to the show, Cheryl.
Good morning. Well, good morning from Los Angeles. Hey, Debra. To you too. Yeah, it is 9:41 a.m. in LA. So thank you both for having me. And thank you, Debra, for this. So we can try to get some more mentors, which we will explain in a minute.
So I was asking backstage how you two met, and I found out it was through Clubhouse. Why not, right? That's how Debra and I met as well.
I love Clubhouse. I think Clubhouse is a great equalizer, especially really all over the world, but in our specific industry, being able to meet people from all over the world who do the same things we do. I think it's great for young people to be able to meet people that they've idolized, people who they can ask questions to, who have had a long career. I think it's a great equalizer. And to a certain extent, I think we all needed it during the pandemic for all of us to come together as a global community.
I definitely would agree with you. One thing I want to share with both of you, I think this is kind of interesting. Yesterday, I got a follow from a very well-known celebrity. And when I saw this guy's name, I was like, what? Why is this guy following me? And I did a little further investigation, and it's not actually him. It's his name, it's his picture, it's his background, but it's somebody pretending to be him.
Oh, I'd be interested to know who it is. You'll have to let me know in the back channels, as we call it.
I'll just give you a hint. His first name is also something that people use on the water for recreational activities. Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm totally lost. Okay.
It's not a boat. It's not a paddle board. It's a
canoe.
Ta-da!
Who can you that?
Canoe.
Oh, yeah. So here's the funniest thing. He follows me on Twitter, on LinkedIn, all of that, and I was like, it's not you. Like, this person DM'd me and they're like, hey, what you doing? I'm sitting here reading scripts. I'm like, it's not you. He has no social media.
That's exactly right. Yep, exactly right. So be aware. But otherwise, it's a great platform. We love it, and it's connecting people all over the world. So it's amazing.
I will say though, Dr. J, is I say this for all social media: always do your due diligence. You know, for whatever social media you're on. One thing about Clubhouse is you're physically usually speaking to people, and you know that mask can slip when they're having to speak to you directly. You know, they can't always think as quick. But with any social media, always do your due diligence and check into the people that you're meeting on those platforms.
Excellent advice. Thank you so much, Debra. Cheryl, I know our audience would love to hear all about Women of Color Unite. You founded this organization. Can you share with us why you did so and what it's all about?
Sure. Back in February of 2018, I just decided to get all the women of color that I knew in the entertainment industry. They could bring somebody. So 50 turned into 75, 150 showed up. Thank God a friend of mine lent me his beautiful house in the hills. And we had decided I had decided with a couple of other people a few days before that I didn't want to just sit around and sort of complain about the industry, right? What I wanted to do was to empower women of color. So we decided to create a database. That database I ended up naming after my mother, Joan Teresa Curtis, who was an activist and a statistician. And so that's how the JTC list was born. 93 women showed up on that day. It would have been more, but Teresa Jacina, who was signing people, I was like, can I enjoy it? We had a wonderful time. Everybody all the vendors were women of color. from the valets to the sommelier. I made sure that nobody had to pay for anything. We catered, we had a DJ. We just celebrated being women of color in entertainment. The interesting thing was there were women who were like, I thought I knew them all. And we realized that we were out there. I think that's one of the things that this industry has been very good at, is keeping marginalized people divided. And so it was a moment that ended up becoming a movement. And so what I did was Variety Insights was very kind. I got a 30-day free trial. And I went into Variety Insights and I just created an email and started sending out the link. And as we started sending out the link, more and more people started joining. Marva Smalls, who's the Chief Diversity Officer of Viacom, gave me my best piece of advice when I first started. She said, you're a woman of color. Come out the gate standing on your own 2 feet. Turn it into a 501c3. Don't get a fiscal sponsor. Because of that intersection of what we call white supremacy and the power of whiteness, the very first thing is perfectionism. So basically it says the more marginalized you are, the more perfect people expect you to be. And so that's why she told me, come out standing on my own 2 feet. And so that very first invitation said, women of color, ... unite. And that's where the name came from. Because I was like, nobody's going to know what the JTC list stands for. So when you join Women of Color Unite, you're automatically added to the database. And cut to now, and we are over 4,300 members. The most important thing when I first started this group was that I didn't want to charge women of color anything. I think that's the way that a lot of the trade organizations, the trade organizations have kept marginalized people to the margin, or the fees. We make less money, right? So it was very, very important to me not to charge anybody. We're a true meritocracy. I say, if we help you financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, donate what you can when you can. Needless to say, in the first 2 years, we ran on my 5 credit cards and I drained my savings. And then came a pandemic. And then came a rebellion. And everyone was looking around for where they could hire people. And we had spent the first 2 years really doing meet and greets with people in the entertainment industry. That's how we grew. That's how the list became a trusted resource. So when the rebellion happened and the pandemic happened, and people were like, hey, we need some diversity on our team. Everybody was like, oh, remember that event? Remember when we met? All of that. So we get hit up anywhere from 3 times a day to 20 times a day asking for the JTC list. It's above and below the line. It's creatives, it's actors, it's directors of photography, it's sound people, it's everything. And so that's how we sort of came to be. And now now we're the largest nonprofit of women of color in entertainment, and we don't charge anybody anything. So we get in donations. Unfortunately, only the women of color and girl of color run nonprofits only receive 0.5% of all grant and foundation money, which is a national travesty. So the main way that we keep the doors open, as I say, is as a diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility firm. We're one of those people that give the training for how to basically decenter whiteness. And so that's how we keep the doors open. So we work very hard to keep the doors open and make sure that we don't charge women of color for anything. So currently right now we have 2 programs going, really 3 going on. We have a partnership with Genre TV. So women of color being able to have their content put up on a Roku channel. So they're actually making a few dollars, which is wonderful. We have 2 channels. We have one that is Women of Color Unite members only, and then we have one where we say we leave no marginalized group behind. So it can be people with disabilities, it can be men of color. We put up things dealing with, isms, colorism, sizes, and ages, and all of those types of things. So those are the two channels that we have running right now. And then we have a partnership with the Casting Society of America, which is based on a survey that we sent out to our members. And we asked them, what kind of classes would you want? So it started in June. It goes through October. And once a week, we have two types of classes. One is really the business of acting, because nobody ever really teaches people the business of it. The other one is that our members get to do monologues and work on scripts where normally they would not be in that role. That was something that was very important because of being stereotyped. So, our Muslim members don't have to play the terrorist. Our members who consider themselves fat or plus size get to workshop things of the ingenue. So the casting directors can begin to understand sort of their complicity as well into, as we call, the isms. So we have members who get to workshop, and these are some of the top casting directors in this country. So that is another offer. And then the last thing is the reason why Debra asked me to come on today, which I'm so thankful for. And that's #StartWith8. So we've done 2 rounds in Hollywood. And what it is that people in the industry, no matter their gender, race, or ethnicity, people have already made it to a certain extent. They have to do one substantive thing for 8 women of color. Because when we pulled out women of color, we did a survey. So our members don't have to pay, but they have to fill out forms. Those forms give us a larger survey of women of color in entertainment. And what it tells us is that it is not a pipeline problem. It really is a union, guild, and trade organization problem. So only 10% of women of color working in entertainment today belong to a union, a guild, or a trade organization, which is a decent living, healthcare, and networking opportunities. So we call it exclusion by familiarity, right? I didn't go to school with any. I don't play golf with any. I don't have any in my neighborhood, and I'm putting any obviously in quotes. And we call it exclusion by familiarity, which basically says, are you systemic? Are you racist or sexist? I don't know. But as people understand that exclusion by familiarity has helped to uphold a systemically racist, sexist system. And so what this does is it introduces them to 8 women of color that they would have never met, they would have never run into. And they have to do one substantive thing. And it can be anything. It can be helping somebody with their resume. I always tell the story that Win Rosenfeld, the president of Monkey Paw, did the very first round. And what Win did was he said, I will meet with them for 15 minutes each, and I will read 8 scripts and give notes. Now imagine you as a writer, as a marginalized person who would have never met the president of Monkey Paw, gives you script notes. How invaluable that is in this industry. There have been people who are managers and agents and have introduced people looking for literary managers and agents to their friends. And they've gotten signed, even if they can't, even if their roster, even if they don't fit. It's really about getting to know someone. And we meet the mentors where they are. You tell us how long you're willing to meet and what you're willing to do. And we match you with women looking for that. We matched Win Rosenfeld with 8 women of color horror writers. Yes, there are that many, right? And so women he would have never have met. And so it's not just good for the mentees, it is good for the mentors. Because first of all, they get to use their quote unquote power, if you will, to help people, to help those marginalized people. But it also expands their horizon on content, on characters. So it's good for everybody. So in the first 2 rounds in Hollywood, we have matched 920 women of color with 240 mentors and facilitated 1,900 meetings. This round, We're working not only in the US, but also in the UK and in Canada. And I am having a problem getting mentors. I think two things have happened. I think that, first of all, people are tired of Zooms. They're like, I don't want to Zoom. I want a hug. I'm vaccinated. I think that's one of the issues. But I also think the other issue is apathy. We have gone through a pandemic, which we're still going through. We've had Black Lives Matter. We've had Stop Asian Hate. And I think to a certain extent, people are like, hey, racism is over. No, it's not. No, it's not. As a matter of fact, whenever there is a movement, you have a backlash. It's been proven statistically, sociologically, there is a backlash. Society has a backlash. And unfortunately, I'm seeing that backlash. And what I mean by that is my members are emailing me on a consistent basis, being fired, being laid off, gaslighting, all of those things that happen in society. And it will be the most vulnerable, meaning women of color, who will face that first. So here's the thing. I need mentors more than ever. It is so much more important. Originally, I'd wanted to do 600 women in the US, 600 in the UK, and 600 in Canada, because we did 600 last round in the US. Unfortunately, I'm going to be lucky if I can do 100 in the UK, 150 in Canada, and we just did hit 500 in the US. I'm putting in that last push to see if I can get up, which means 25 more mentors. But look, a few days ago, I said to Debra, I needed 42 in the US. And Mananda Reaper, our program director, has been really working hard towards getting those mentors. And so, Debra, we only need 25 more in the US. I need one more in Canada to do 150 women of color. But UK, I'm still at those 3. I need 3 more. Come on, people. Help a sister out. And it can be anybody. So this is a moment that has become a movement, and we can't let go. We can't backslide. So thank you all for letting me run on and on and on. This is my life's work. I told Debra this the very first time I marched. I was 2. It was 1968. It was during the Baltimore riots. I was on my mother's hip. My mother's oldest brother, my Uncle Thomas, helped to pass the Americans with Disabilities Act. So I'm a producer, line producer by trade. I am an activist by DNA. So come on, folks, help me out. Thank you, Debra. Thank you, Dr. J, for letting me just run on and on. I really appreciate it. But I'm asking people, join this movement.
First of all, congratulations. Whew, what you've done is unbelievable. And when you shared the fact that you maxed out your credit cards, your savings, the pandemic, and you're still moving forward, you could have said, you know what, forget it. I let somebody else deal with it. But kudos to you. So I'm so glad that you're here to share the story. What do people have to do in order to sign up to be a mentor? How do they do this?
All they have to do is go to startwith8hollywood.com. Scroll down to the bottom. You can sign up. There are mentor applications for the US, Canada, and the UK. All 3 links are, it's hashtag start. Sorry, it's called hashtag start, but the website is startwith8 with the letter 8 Hollywood.com. Just scroll down to the bottom and look. Here's the best part. Take a look around. You can see we have testimonials from both mentors and mentees. You can go take a look, because if a lot of people in the industry may be like, I'm a little sus. Go take a look. See that we've had Craig Mazin, Aaron Collight, and you notice I'm saying white men. Notice that I'm saying that. Wynn Rosenfeld. We've had Black women like Numa Perrier, dopest director, Felicia Pride, who's a screenwriter who wrote for King Sugar. We run the gamut with people. And that's what I'm saying. We really are a global community. I think that's what Clubhouse has done, has shown us we have so much more in common than we do differences. But one of the last things really is the intersection of racism, sexism, and all the other isms and homophobia. And when we look and see how much money, there was a new study that came out in the US. So it was something like the average amount in as far as like bank account and so forth and so on for white men was something like $22,000. And then when you went down for Black women, it's like 104. You know, the average that I think it was, they did a study in Boston or something, that the average that a Black person had in their bank account was $8. So there are these things, and we just need to understand that not only are we a global community, but we really need to help the most marginalized. And look, I say this, I am a Black woman in the US, and that comes with every ism you can imagine, but I understand what my privilege is. My privilege is the fact that I was raised by Joan Teresa Curtis. I understand that my privilege is my education. I've gone to private school my entire life, and I use it. We all have some type of privilege. Let's just use it to help those who are more marginalized than we are.
You've given us a lot to think about, Cheryl. I really appreciate it. So somebody might be saying to themselves, well, I really don't want to get involved right now because I don't think it's really that important. There's other things that are priorities. Why is this the moment?
Can I interject on that?
Yes.
I want to interject. And, you know, one of the things that is quite powerful about what Cheryl has done is they did research on the people that they've mentored. And they asked, you know, what is the biggest thing that you have got from this program? And people, you know, they put in the different things that they'd felt from it. 78%, that's 78% came back with the word hope. Now that's powerful. That is powerful stuff. And, you know, if just taking some time out to help somebody, you know, I've signed up myself. I've signed up for 8 half-an-hour sessions on various things. So, you know, 4 hours to give someone that wants to get into this industry a little bit of hope. Now that's powerful stuff. Sorry, I had to interject because, you know, of all the stuff that Cheryl's trying to do, she forgets sometimes to mention that. And I think, you know, hope is such a powerful tool. And if we can give them that little bit of hope to carry on their journey, you've got to be part of that. You really have.
Thank you, Debra. That's really important.
And thank you, Debra, for reminding me. I have so many statistics in my head from everything we do. Yeah, that hope. Oof. That's the thing that always gets me, and maybe that's the reason it's the hardest thing for me to talk about, because I've said this in multiple times that, you know, when I die, the only thing I want on my tombstone is she gave the world hope. And I don't think a lot of us realize with this, you know, fight for diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, what that has meant. And it really is the lack of hope. So I thank you for that, Debra, for reminding me, because sometimes you're so in it that I can't see the forest for the trees. It's like, what statistics do I have to get out? How much time do I have to do? How to drive to the point home? And thank you for reminding me that it's hope. It's hope.
That's what we're all about here.
You're doing amazing work there, Cheryl. You know, I cannot say thank you enough for the hope that you're giving so many people in this industry that are coming up. And, you know, I will always be there flying the flag and helping whichever way I can. Okay?
Yeah, thank you. You have been one of our biggest supporters, me running around Clubhouse trying to sign up people one by one. I'm going to leave you guys with, because there are real consequences to everything that we do. So I just want to read you all something. This is posted on her Facebook page. And this is what I mean by helping the most marginalized. This is from Diana Romero. She's one of our members. And it says, several years ago, I met Cheryl L. Bedford at a panel discussing disability in Hollywood. I had just transitioned into a wheelchair as MS took my mobility away in 2018. I didn't know what to do and where to go. Somehow, I found out about the panel and my life changed. After many years of working in film production, I made the decision to turn to my dream of writing for TV and not leave Hollywood. Now, fully immersed in disability advocacy in Hollywood, I have also made strides in my effort to become a TV writer. Fast forward to a few months ago, where I became one of the newest mentees of #StartWithA Hollywood Edition. One of my two amazing mentors connected me with a TV writer / showrunner for a general. We chatted for quite some time, and next thing I knew, she was telling me that she was staffing a new show and would I be interested? Of course I was. So I sat down to meet with her and her co-showrunner, which turned into an amazing meeting / interview. Today, I started my job as a writer's assistant for the new show, The 4400. I'm living proof that #StartWithA mentorship does work, and it is essential to our careers, important for our souls, and necessary for sisterhood. Without this, I wouldn't be where I am today. Thank you, Cheryl, for all you do. Thank you also to all those that work in this mentorship program. My heart is full, and I promise I will make you all proud. That is why I do what I do.
It's really moving, really beautiful.
Yeah.
I can understand the passion, and it sounds like, from what you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, but anyone who's in the entertainment, the film, TV industry can act as a mentor. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We only ask that somebody have a couple of produced credits. Yes, Debra?
Just remind people that actors are included because of the SAG, because we have managed to onboard people that have been actors. So I'll head it over to you, Cheryl.
Yes, what Debra is saying, because of our partnership with the CSA, we help everybody above and below the line except actors for this mentorship program, right? Except for the mentorship program, because we concurrently are running our partnership with the Casting Society of America. So I didn't leave my actors out. We just have a separate program for them. And this mentorship program is for everybody above and below the line, minus actors, because of what we're running with the Casting Society of America. And Debra, I just made you cry, didn't I?
You did. I was trying to sort of like
it means so much to people, and I always say this: I fight for the most marginalized in my group. And by doing that, that means that I'm fighting for everybody, right? When I concentrate on my members with disabilities, women of color with disabilities, because they make even so much less than, able-bodied women of color. When I concentrate on that, it uplifts everybody else. It's like when we concentrate on erasing racism and sexism, doing that actually uplifts men. Doing that uplifts, white people. Like when we work for the most marginalized, it actually uplifts all of society. So I do definitely concentrate or try to put more effort into my members with disabilities, and inevitably it helps to raise everybody else.
Ladies, this is it's such a important topic, and I'm so glad that Debra, that you brought Cheryl here today, and Cheryl, that you shared with us your passion and how we can all get involved, and the fact that you need mentors in the UK. People, please sign up.
And the US. And the US.
I need them all over.
One person in Canada.
Yeah.
Just one person in Canada.
One more.
By the time we finish this show, we'll have the person in Canada. Come on, guys. 3 more people in the UK. Just 3 more. That's all we need. And then we need 25, I think it was, more in the US. So yes. keep on going, guys.
We can do this. Like we can do this. We can help those, and more than anything else, we can give 76% of these people hope. Let's do it. Let's just do it.
Exactly.
Yes, let's do it. And if you're just joining us, I see some people just joined. Please go over to our YouTube channel. Watch us from the very beginning. It's USA Global TV. Cheryl, we've been running your banner throughout the show, but for people who are listening on the radio, what is the best way for them to reach out to you, and who should reach out to you?
The best thing is that we have 2 IG and Twitter accounts. One is my personal one, which is Cheryl, which is my name, CHERYL_CLBP, which stands for Cheryl L. Bedford Productions, my first production company. And the other one, regarding anything having to do with Women of Color Unite in the JTC list, is actually the JTC list, which stands for Joan Teresa Curtis, the JTC list. That's on Twitter. That's on IG. We have a Facebook page. Reach out. And for those who want to be a mentor, start with aidhollywood.com. And if you want to actually, donate some money, you can go to women of WOCunite.org. That's WOCunite.org. You can Google me too. Look me up. All of it is on, is on Google. We also have the jtclist.com. People are like, what's that? That's where people can request to join Women of Color Unite, and where the industry requests to get the list. We are keeping track of those who are getting the list, just to make sure that the companies are trying to be more diverse.
Cheryl, thank you for giving people hope, and thank you for being here today. You're welcome to come on any of our shows and share your message.
I want to thank you, Dr. J, and thank you, Debra, for helping me in this final push. We are Women of Color Unite. We tell people, you're not an ally. What you need to do is to practice your allyship every day, to be a co-conspirator. Debra, you definitely practice your allyship every day. Thank you, Dr. J. It is 10:13 a.m. in Los Angeles, and I'm going to go have some breakfast.
All right, Cheryl, thank you again.
Bye. Thank you both, Debra. All my love.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Cheryl. Catch you in the hallways.
Oh, she dropped off. Debra, what's the best way to reach out to you, and who should contact you?
I think the best thing to do is go on to the 5 to 9. That's the numbers, 5to9club.co.uk. We have, you can get through to us either by emailing at info@5to9club.co.uk, and you can sign up for the newsletter to find out what's going on.
Wonderful. Thank you again, as always, for bringing such a wonderful guest with an important message. I'm glad that we were able to share that today.
Yeah, amazing, absolutely amazing stuff she's doing. And, we just need those final few just to get it over. But to give so many people hope is just, awe-inspiring. And
that passion she has is just amazing. You can feel it.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, exactly. I will let you go off and do the other thousands of things that you have to do for today. And I will be in the audience today on Clubhouse.
You look forward to seeing you.
All right. Thank you again. Talk to you later.
Speak to you later. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching. We do have a special episode of In the Name of Love that was scheduled for yesterday, but due to an emergency, we had to move to today. Our guest is Dania Youssef. And then we have, right after that, it's all about dating with my co-host Lori Mendelson, and our guest is Amanda Rose. And we will finish out the day with a Better You, lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. And we have 3 expert presenters today. We have Hyatt Ives, Mariska Duprier, and Red O'Laughlin. So lots of wonderful content information for us to learn from these experts. So I hope you will join us for those shows. Again, if you missed anything, please go to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV. You can watch all of our content there. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, you can go to drjacalyn.com and you can book your session there. Thank you again for being here today. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Debra. We will see you again soon. Take care.